Welcome to the About Me project. At this point in the course, you should be through lesson 15 right here. And what I've gone ahead and done, just to make sure we're on the same page and to show you how to get started in this project, is created a lesson 15 file. So this is everything in this zip file here is what you should have in your document, or what you should have in your project in your site folder so far. So if you're having trouble reproducing anything, you can also grab it from here and start from here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this, and you don't have to download it because you should already have all this set up in your project folder right now. So let's go ahead and download it, open it. All right, so I'm going to move it here to our desktop just to make it easy, and then I'm going to open it in Sublime. And we'll open in browser. All right, at this point in the course, this is what your site should look like. Okay, you have this whole top section done, and you have this whole nav bar done, and then we're going to be moving on to work on this middle and bottom section down here in the footer. So we have that. We're on the same page. We're all at the same starting point. So let's get you started on this About Me project. What we're going to do here is we have first site lesson 15. Okay, we're going to go ahead and copy it, and then we're going to paste it. All right, and I think you guys are using your flash drive, so you can do it on there. So now you have two different project folders, and we're going to call this About Me. Okay, or you can call it your name. Actually, yeah, let's do that. Since it's an About Me page, let's say Ryan Bonhart About Me. There we go. Now we're going to open that in Sublime. All right, so you have a new project folder. You're not in this first site folder anymore. You're not even touching that. And this is how you start a new project from what we just have. What we're gonna do just to get you set up is where we'll just change the title real quick. Ryan Bonhart About Me. Actually, just leave it Ryan Bonhart. Your name, okay? And let's open this in the browser. So you should see we just changed the title tag, so you should see it up here. All right, and what do we not need? All we need is this top section here. So we're going to take all this down here out. So let's go ahead and inspect this element to make sure we're taking out the right stuff. All right, that whole top section is that Jumbotron. And this whole section right here is that container. So let's find that div class container. All right, there we go. And we can follow this line right here. It goes all the way down to here. Because basically what we are doing here is we're doing an About Me page. See if I know my password here. There we go. Okay. So you see we'll have this top nav bar, we'll have this background image, and then we'll have a little section about us, which you can read, or you've probably already read in the project description. So we're creating an About Me page like this, and we're going to stop right here, okay? So we don't need anything down below here that you see. So this is literally all we're creating, okay? So we don't want, first off, let's inspect element down here. This body's got a padding bottom of 20 pixels. So we want to take that out. And I want to give you a, what else do we have? We have extra space down here. Just trying to get you set up as much as possible. We need to do Jumbotron, padding bottom 0. Nope, that's not it. Margin bottom, my bad. And you should, because as we know from the last lesson, lesson 15, margin is outside, padding is inside. All right, so we got that. One thing, when you go to change your image, if for some reason it is, so you now know how to start this new thing. All right, and what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to take these out. You're going to change this to your name. You're going to change this H1 to your name. You're going to put it in H2 with kind of like a tag for yourself. See, I have lifelong learner here. Also with the H2, change the color. And then you're going to put in 2 paragraphs, kind of like we have right here, okay? Just like we have right here, at least 2 paragraphs. I have 3 to tell us a little bit more about yourself, all right? And I'll give you the examples above this in the project description. And then you're going to take out these button and this image here. And then in one of these, we'll also want to change the font family and the color. So and you're going to be changing this background image. So let's get to this background image. If you find an image that, not big enough, then what we need to do is we need to give it a background size. So what I want to make sure is, so we have this background image in our code, and you've done that, okay? Now, I want to introduce you to this thing called background, and this is kind of like what we talked about, where, in the minimal requirements of this project, you've learned all of it in the past videos, okay? There are going to be some, if you want to go above and beyond, where you're going to go above and beyond what you've learned in the past videos. Here's one thing that we haven't learned in the past videos, and this is background size. Background size cover, okay? So let's look. There we go. We have this Mozilla developer, background size. Let's get down to cover. All right, so this keyword specifies that the background image should be scaled to be as small as possible while ensuring both its dimensions are greater than or equal to the corresponding dimensions of the background positioning area. So basically what this is saying, the background positioning area for us is Jumbotron, which covers the whole screen. So it's going to make sure, ignore the first part of that, basically it's going to make sure that its width and height cover the screen. Okay, so it's going to cover the whole screen. So do background size cover, and also let's see if it mentions in here. But let's go ahead and do this. This just makes sure that, all Safari, Firefox, Internet Explorer, Opera, any, weird stuff that any weird browser that people use is covered. And don't worry too much about this. This is just making sure that that we get, outdated browsers. So if people haven't updated their Google Chrome browser or their Internet Explorer browser or their Mozilla Firefox or Safari, that that our background size will also be covered for them. So let's go ahead and do that. We have background size cover, and we got the four kits right here. Actually, all right, instead of 100, 100, that's the way they're doing it right there is 100% width, 100% height, which you could actually do as well. See, looks just as good as well. But we're going to do cover. And one other thing I'll hit on with background is background position. Let's see if they can tell us about background position. And that way you can see these links up here to go look at them more in depth. But basically, background position is where in relation to its, the background does the background image start. In other words, like if we said, all right, let me show you. It's easier to see it live. So we have Jumbotron, we have all this stuff, background size, background position, let's say on the y-axis, so that's up and down. Let's just say top. Didn't change much. Bottom, see how the image moved? So now the very bottom of the image is going to be aligned with the very bottom of the background. So in other words, like if this image is tall, so tall, like taller than the dimensions of the screen, the top, it's going to start at the bottom, so more of the top's going to be hidden. So if I change this to top, you see now these buildings down here, which with bottom, you could see, more of them are now covered. And you can do background position X, left, which the way this picture works is that it's, it's fine left to right, so it's really not going to change. So you don't have to worry about X as much with my picture, but it may be with yours. And we got top, bottom. Make sure I'm, where's, can't remember if it's center or middle. Center. So you can play around with those when you get your, when you decide on your image, what you think's the best. For me personally, I like the default top left as it is because it looks the best there. So background, top. And that's the default. I like that the best, so I'm going to keep it like that. But I want to let you know about background size and background position so that you can play around with it. All right, guys, so other than that, you should know everything you need to know to make your site look like this to get started. And then all you have to do is make the changes and get going on your About Me page.